Hello, hello. Okay, it says I'm live. I can't tell. Somebody say hi. Am I live? Oh, there I am. Okay, I'm doing a Johnny size smudge today. And my phone volume is up. So, I get to do this alone today. My co-conspirator in alchemical wisdom is not feeling good today. And I want her here when she feels good because she reads hands. It's really cool. So good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. Harley, I know you're here. You said hello. So we're doing some white sage. La, 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 before I do music. And now I got to put this out. This is the room that sage never goes out when it's supposed to. Which it's not. Okay, it'll be a smoky mess in here in no time. La, la. I guess I can leave it on. Okay, welcome. Happy Sunday. Eliza, the winner of last night's prize on Adrian's channel. That was really cool. So, last night, a number of us were watching Adrian, Johnny, and Tony do an absolutely hysterical astrological reading thing. And one of my messages for Scorpio was to do some letting go of things. So I just let go of a bunch of hair, which is falling out anyway because I was radiation burned last year. But it's like, oh my God, I'm like 500 pounds lighter without that back there. So it feels good. Hi, Sharon. Sharon, how is your family? I noticed that you're taking people to hospitals. And it was really funny when my friend Carol cut it this afternoon. She took a picture so I could see what it was like, and it's like, I thought it was all gray. It's got these weird colors in it. I've got red in my hair. So I'm going to actually flip the mic 6 inches off each ear. Yeah, that's about what I do once a year, whether I need it or not. I'm going to flip the mic and I'm going to actually play some bowls because they're here. Okie dokie. I am playing, you can't see them, but I've got a little slew of babies next to me. And I'm going to play those and then go play the bigger ones behind me. So when I'm playing the little bowls, they're higher pitched, they are sharper in energy. Yay, bowls. So just take a breath. If they ping you somewhere, that's finding resistance. Breathe deeper. That's how you work with bowls. So here we go. You all sound good so far. Sound so sweet. Okay, so Sharon, let us know how we can hold energy for both your sister and your son, because I'm gonna dedicate the healing portion of the sound tonight to your family and you as the caretaker. Ooh, I keep the lights on. Yay. I can feel the death of the old inside being vibrated out and cleansed. Boy, it is that kind of time, isn't it, Tanya? Holy moly. Hey, Virginia. So, welcome. As I was saying in the beginning, my guest is a little under the weather, so you get me all by myself. And I am actually going to, I pulled a few cards, and for anybody who was here Friday and saw what I pulled, there's a theme. There's a theme. So, now I got Johnny coaching on Friday on how to hold cards. Let's see if it worked. He said, put it up by your face. There you go. Spirit Keeper of the North. Your sister had varicose veins on her leg, and my son had a seizure. Okay. Huh. Okay, thank you. We will hold for health. I always hold for health rather than healing. I assume that health is here. So the Spirit Keeper of the North, in the medicine wheel, the North is obviously the cold, snowy stuff that I still have outside after our storm this week. And this is also the time to go within and to dream and meditate and envision, now that we've shaken up the old, to actually envision what we want, what comes next, where are we going in the spring. So this is the North. It's the wisdom direction. It's also the mental body direction. And it talks a lot about being quiet and dreaming and envisioning. And the animal card that I pulled is the same one I pulled Friday. Different deck, same polar bear. And it's very much the same. In this deck, it's the same. In the other deck, it was going within your heart to go through fear. And in this deck, it's the mystical rest, dream, renew our strength. Because come spring, we're going to get to do it all over again. So those are the cards. Those are the cards. I asked when I pulled them what message was in the highest good for people to hear on this, and that's what I got. So it explains where we are. We're definitely in winter in the North, and we get to create reality in the dreams and the visions to see what we birth next. So that's about all I have to say. Really, I'm finding I'm not in a very talkative mood today, which is sort of funny going online. So I mentioned Friday that if I was alone today, that if anybody had questions, I would take them on anything. Or if you want cards pulled on something, I can pull from these decks. This is a co-creation with all of you. So what would you like? What would you like to receive today? Those of you that are here. Shockwave is here. Texas is in the house. Your 21-year-old feral may be leaving you. Oh my God. That is so hard. What's your feral's name, Jane? Let's get the feral's name. Okay, Mr. Shockwave. I have a question for you, actually. Don't you love it? I have a question for you. Lil Miss. Oh, what a beautiful name. I wish we could post pictures on this stream. I'd love to see a picture. So for Sharon's son and sister, we hold health. And for Lil Miss, we hold health and the highest good. And whatever happens. When they get to be that age, they're sort of the ones in charge of what happens. Okay, pray the Weather Channel is wrong about stronger storms in the spring due to climate change. Okay, so my question for you, since you are very focused on the weather, is what are you doing about it? Anything? Any kind of holding energy, Benny, that you can do? So you can type that in. My protocol is to ask Divine Bass to come and assist the fur baby. That's a good idea. I actually have, my dog is at the Rainbow Bridge, so I ask her and a whole slew of animals that I used to know in living times to help when an animal's crossing. And the welcoming committee in this part of the Rainbow Bridge that Ace is running is a Clydesdale that I knew. His name is Lucky, and he died at 5 years old, so he still was, really young. And he loves the little itty bitty furry things. He's the welcoming committee for the baby deer or the little kitties or whatever comes across that's small. And I'm kind of lucky. They're like smaller than your head. He goes, I know, and he dances. He's like, it's so much fun. So they're in good fur paws and hooves when they get over there. It's been really neat it's been an honor to watch this process since Ace crossed a number of years ago. Sprouting seeds, preparing for spring, looking for a place that resonates for my highest good. Looking for a place, Tanya, as far as moving. Is that what you're talking about? Or meditation every day, trying to buy more from local farmers. Boy, howdy. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I do a lot of weather work and have for many, many decades. And I talk to Mother Earth. And one of the things that she's asked me to do, because I don't believe in violating her free will. I mean, it's her weather. What she has always asked from me is to remove any of the artificial outside influences from the weather so she can have her natural cycles back. So that's how I do weather work. Plus I have a gong that I work with. And yes, Eliza, my gong's name is Storm. We had a conversation offline about that. She's a big mouth. So Tanya, are you moving out of state? Ooh, can we pull a card on it? What do you want to know? Let's find out. Let's see. We're going to pull a card. Tanya's move. This will be fun. Now that means I have to shuffle the cards and not drop them. Hey, Debbie! Whoops. And we already had 3 fall out. Let's see. Nope, that's only 2. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Tanya's moving. Jeez. Move from the heart. More polar bear energy. Are you moving north or something? And Spirit of the Earth. Mother Earth will welcome you wherever you land. Just kiss her, bless her, and every time you walk on her, say thank you. That was easy. All good to have a vibration of storm to counter storms. Exactly. Well, and I use the storm gong to actually to read what's going to happen. And it was interesting with the ice storm that was coming through. I read here, I read Texas, and I think I read up in the Chicago. I've read 3 places that were going to get a lot of energy, and I can hear the difference. I just intend to ask, and the ice storm that was predicted here was supposed to be horrendous. I'm in Arkansas, and it wasn't. And the gong basically was purring when I played for this area. It was a little worse for Texas, and then up in Illinois where my brother ran away from home so he didn't have to deal with it. It was bad. It was actually bad. So Tanya, I hope that helped. Okay, I missed somebody's comment about, I just don't want her to have to go to the vet as this is her home, but can't let her suffer. Yeah, that's the hard part. When Ace crossed, I actually had a vet come to the house and cross her there, which was an amazing ceremony, actually. I don't know if that's an option for you, but boy, that was so much easier than being impersonal in a vet. Okay, what else? Anybody else have a question? Be right back. Eliza's leaving us. The chemtrails are bad here. Yeah, there's a lot of geoengineering here too. I go outside and wave my arms and pray clean sky. So that seems to help. You did that with your dog as far as having somebody come to the house? She's back. Yay. Yeah, it was interesting. I had four of us. There were four of us in the room with Ace. I didn't know the vet. I just gotten back to Texas. And so there was her and two of my friends, and we had my pipe loaded, we had ceremony, we had it was the medicine room. We had all this stuff set up to pray Ace across, because she'd been on the road with me for years and just, a companion in my sacred practices. And it was a neat ceremony. And Kim's two cats were in there with us. Kim's two cats are now on the other side with Ace. And Ace was on insulin. And at insulin time that night, one of the cats came to get me, with like, you've got to go downstairs. And because I left Ace there overnight, I slept with her. You got to go give her shot. And the cat got really upset. And the other cat's like looking at him going, no, she's not there anymore. And I finally brought Guinness downstairs with me to where Ace was so he could realize that she had left her body. And he was just like, oh my God. And that night when I slept with her body and just, said my goodbyes, Guinness came down and slept with us too. It was really cool. It's a really neat ceremony if you can do it at home. I mean, it's sad. Ace was my daughter. I saw my dog Spirit looking up at a man after he crossed. Do you know who the man was? That's cool. We had in Ace's crossing, we didn't know if we could say this in front of the vet that was there because we didn't know her. I think we probably could have. We had a being actually come in through the north door in that wheel. And he came, and one of my friends was, like taking notes on everything that was happening. She could see him, and he came in, and he sort of shapeshifted. He'd flow and change between a winged one and hooves and fur and fish and all this really neat stuff. And Denise is like, okay, who are you and why are you here? It was like something she'd never seen. And he said, it's not usual for humans to treat an animal with this much respect at a death crossing. And it was like, it should be. So he just came in to check on us. And that was the man that Ace went to. Debbie asked for an angel to come collect my dog on his passing. I asked about 3 days before he passed to come take him. Yeah. The thing that I've learned about crossing animals is, because I will ask Ace, if something's going to cross, and animals are always in the moment. There's none of this in the past, in the future, in the maybe, in the I don't know. They're just right here now. They're very good meditation tools for us. And when Ace was getting ready to cross, she was my daughter. I was a little attached to the outcome, so I couldn't read the energy right. And I'm looking for pet psychics and can't find one and wasn't sure and didn't know. And the morning that she decided she was ready to go, we were sure. I mean, my housemate and I was like, she's ready. It's time. Go. And it was really interesting how clear it was when she finally made up her mind. It was time. So I found a vet. But yeah, asking an angel to come collect. Kitties are really interesting fur angels, as are dogs. Yeah, Jane, let us know. Let us know what you decide to do and what happens and how the ceremony is for little Miss. Okay. Anybody else want a card pulled on a question? Should we? Lost my 7-year-old Cocker Spaniel, Ty, 12 years ago. Oh my God, that is hard. That is hard. I haven't been able to get another animal since Ace crossed. It just was like, I'm sorry, she's hard to replace. We went on many adventures together. So, I think we'll pull an animal card on the weather. since I haven't watched the Weather Channel, partially because I don't have the Weather Channel. I don't have that on TV. But I have been getting the message that we've got more coming, and it's going to be worse. In talking to the storm gong. You've been told that she's a spirit animal. Of course she is. She's probably a familiar. Do you guys know what a familiar is? It's an animal that comes in to be a guide for us. And when I got Ace, I got her sister was the one I wanted. I got 2 puppies at the same time. And her sister was the one I wanted. I wanted 2 so they could be raised on the land together in Texas. And Ace was my familiar, not the other one. Your dog now sees spirits in the field. Yes, that's quite true. They're good at that. Okay, let's find out what animal is going to teach us about weather that's coming for winter. Oh, she got you through COVID. Oh, bless you, bless you. Yeah, they're good at that. Get an animal messenger for weather. I need a bigger table. I need a Johnny-sized table. Ew. Butterfly. Transformation and rebirth. That's a good sign for weather. Yeah, I think we just have to prepare for. It's funny. We are. I'm going to speak for myself. I am so spoiled. Heat, warm stuff, food in the refrigerator. And it's funny. These houses up here, they turned everything into gas fireplaces, which I don't have gas, and there's no way I can burn wood to stay warm. So I'm just like, oh well, get the feather blankets out. Okay, Eliza, a kitty came to me on Maui, a reincarnation of a cat I knew in Egypt. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Ace was a reincarnation of a cat I had. And the rumor is when she comes back again this lifetime, she will come back as a cat, which she ultimately didn't like cats. So she's like, I don't think so. So that's cool. Okay, so we're going to prepare. I'm looking at weather as a transformation ceremony. I mean, I lived in Texas for 15 years this time around, and as anybody knows, living down there, weather can be just a hair traumatic. So, butterflies go through trauma. You think you have a presence in the house that my son's puppy is always staring at? Yeah. Yeah, the animals see that. Okay, what do you want to know about the presence, if anything, Debbie? Want a card on it? Let me know. I'll go back to the other ones. A black blob in the bathroom. Does the puppy get up? Why it's here? Okay. Ooh, that's a good question. Why is it here? What is the message from the black blob in the bathroom? Okay, yes, if you guys are going to start falling out, that's the one. Okay, peace pipe. And I'm gonna look in the book on how. Yeah, that's a good sign that the puppy's not scared. Let me look in the book and see how Ms. Denise Lynn defines peace pipe. Ooh, different from mine would. Heal old wounds with people and situations. It's an invitation to make amends, do some forgiveness, and let go of whatever burden there is around something you haven't forgiven, and then you bring peace in the world and peace to yourself. Interesting, black blob. I'm not hearing any cardinals outside, so it's probably not a dead relative. That's how they usually show up. What else? This is fun. You're welcome. So, we had a new moon. We have the year of the tiger. Ooh, I wanted to look up tiger. Let's see if we have tiger in here. to see what tiger says in animal cards. Buddy boo boo. Is anybody in here in the tiger Chinese wheel as a tiger? Tiger, strength, stealth, invisibility, the balance of yin yang. I like that. Fluid movement, fiery devotion, fierce and determined. The butterfly center. Oh, that butterfly. Oh, God. I read about that. Okay. Give me a question on that. What do you want to know about it? Jane? It's for those who don't know, the people there have been threatened and they shut it down temporarily. I don't know if anything else has happened since then. So what question do you have? I know there's a delay on this. What do the butterflies have to tell us about the center? Huh. We're pulling 2 cards on the butterfly center. It's a Monarch butterfly center. Lost the chat. The wall may fall in the river and oh, God. Okay, don't get me started. Okay, talking stick. That's one card that came up for the butterfly center. I honestly don't know how this is going to happen, and communication between all parties would be a nice thing to happen on the planet, period. And the animal that was pulled was abundance, bison, buffalo. And let me see what the guides are saying about it. Has the wall been built down there yet, Jane? Or are they still talking about building it? I don't know where they stand on that. I mean, the wall can be shored up so it doesn't fall, and that would probably be the best thing to do. God, my mouse is losing connection. Oh, that wall. Okay, so we just need to not have it. Safely. And if I remember reading something correctly, the monarch butterflies have made a comeback in California, which is good. They're increasing out there. So let's do whatever we can in prayer to have them have a fantastic birth rate in that center down in Texas. Ooh. Anybody need a message from a horse? That's what fell out. Freedom. Okay, lost the chat. Have you guys noticed that technology is still a little bit wonky even though we're out of retrograde? I completely lost my internet this morning. It decided to go bye-bye. Maui has monarchs. Yes. Is the energy changing in Texas? Okay, define what you mean by animals seem confused. Yes, because Mercury. Oh, Pluto, my favorite planet. Yeah, no wonder. Death. Okay. Shockwave, give me a description of what the animals are doing. And you live out in the country, if I remember correctly. Okay, so the horse card that I pulled, that's Rocky. Freedom. And Tanya has attracted all of her star people and spirits for growth, usually lessons around fear. Guides are really good at helping us with fear in releasing it. Okay, so Eliza, are you an astrologer too? Hmm. Okay, let's find out. Let's pull an animal card on the energy changing in Texas. I left Texas a year ago, almost to this date. Birds are flocking all over parking lots in the thousands. Are those the grackles, or are they different kinds of birds besides the grackles? Because they used to do that. Got your first book in 71. Man, you've been doing that for a while. Okay. This is fun trying to follow all these streams. Okay, so Mercury and Pluto are playing together. Let's see what the birds are telling us. I mean, if there's a storm coming, they're gonna flock like that. And there definitely was a storm that came through. Huh. I think this may be a message for you, Benny. Happiness. If they were jabbed. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Okay. This is something that's coming. I'm just going to say what's coming up. Most of the people that come onto this stream and that are in these things that we do online in our community are deeply in service to Mother Earth for the highest good. And what this card reminds me of here, and I am definitely not the poster child for this, so I'm speaking to myself too. Being of service at a time like now when we are in a huge death cycle, because the planet is, it's sort of like that butterfly thing that disintegrates the caterpillar before the butterfly is born. It's really easy to forget to be happy and have some fun once in a while. And all of this is really serious. And we need to play once in a while. It's something I've actually seen Johnny and Adrian and Jen Lynn and all of these readers do so impeccably well is sacred laughter. Is to get us through that, oh, it's all serious, we've got to take this all serious. It's a yes and. It's sacred paradox on this planet. So I really want to honor all of you that I know that are on here that are being of service, because I know you are. And take breaks once in a while to play. And the breaks can be something that I teach in Artist Way when I teach it. I teach, rather than artist dates, I teach inner child dates. Go blow bubbles. Take a moment to be happy. It's a choice to play. This is really overwhelming energy right now. I mean, I came here specifically to work for Mother Earth, and it's just sort of like, oh my God, we're going to make it through this. So, yeah, when Debbie's saying when she feels happy, she can go into guilt. Exactly. And there we go. No, that's the wrong one. Yes, Adrian, that one. Our frequency of joy, happiness, laughter, it's all sacred. And those frequencies can be used to be of service for all the serious stuff that we're doing. And I have a weather story, which was really cool. I was teaching an artist way class, not an artist way. I was teaching a heart math class, and there's a class that I teach off of my certification, and coherence, which is head heart alignment into a different higher frequency, which is very connected to the Mother Earth love frequency. It's a different state to be in, and that's the goal of learning heart math techniques. And it's what I do when I do the head and heart bowls. And one of the students in that class, it was a morning class. We took the class. She went home, which was out in Emory. I believe it's Emory. Canton got hit by a tornado that day. And I'm weather watching, and I've got, one phone, one iPad, and a TV going, and I'm playing a bowl, and, however I do it, I use technology and music and prayer. And she texted me from her garage. Canton had just been hit by the tornado. The Dodge dealership was, mangled. And she texted me and she said, "We just lost power." I don't think she didn't have any apps on a smartphone, so I was her eyes. "We just lost power. My garage door is open," and she's, like I am, she's out in the garage waiting for this tornado to come her way, because the tornado came through Emory too. And I'm, watching weather and doing what I do, and in prayer and in ceremony. And she went dark. She went silent for about 10 minutes when it was getting really close to her. And I'm just like, okay, whatever we can do to be of service, help. When she came back on, what she said she did is she stood there with her hand on her heart, breathing gratitude, head, heart, coherence, harmony, and went into harmony with the tornado. And not any anger, not any fear, just coherence, which is a love frequency. And the tornado clipped one tree off the corner of her acreage. It was on the ground for 30 more miles, and it did not destroy anything. It didn't touch anything. Because the coherence, when we can go into a place of joy and love and harmony and be in that kind of service to the weather, we can shift things. And it's just counterintuitive to anything else that we're taught here, that we always have to battle things. And it was just really interesting, because she was practicing what we had done that morning in class, and she just did it with a tornado. I'm just like, okay, that's a little extreme, but that's really cool. So practice that. If the weather's getting a little crazy, see if you can breathe in a frequency of harmony with the weather. We're very powerful. We can help. So you are moving from the country to Dallas and the Fort Worth area. That's where I moved from. I was in Plano. Yeah, the Canton tornado was interesting. So yeah, just this is why this whole if you're not suffering to do your spiritual work, there's something wrong with you. I just don't buy it. Sorry, there's enough suffering on this planet. Trial by fire for that lesson. Man, nothing got hit. Stephanie, welcome. Okay, we're doing weird stuff. We're just doing questions, and I'm pulling cards once in a while, and I'll probably have to go play some more music and talking about laughter and happiness, because it's important. Okay, we're going to put that one up there now. Yes, they do make us laugh. Last night was hysterically funny. I was bursting out loud last night. So, you guys have any other questions? This is fun. Stephanie, got a question on something? Nope, I lost my mind. There you are. We'll light some more. What do you guys want to talk about? And thank you for participating. This is fun. I'm used to Zoom where we can talk to each other. This is sort of weird. Okay, we're going to delay, and then somebody will type something. Eliza, how's the tree butcher doing out there in Hawaii? Did he finally stop? Have you talked to those trees yet? I'm sure you have. I should have found my tree deck. When I first started practicing and training in shamanism, like shamanism 101, the way I was taught by the teachers I had was learn to communicate with nature. Humans are not the only thing we can communicate with. He left after 4 trees. Okay, good. And at that time, I lived in Wimberley, Texas, on 10 acres with my partner and our dogs, and the cow that would crawl in under barbed wire to get out of its pen. It was pretty funny. And I would sit outside in a tiny stand of live oaks. And I mean, these were like that big around. They were very small. And out a ways where the medicine wheel was a stand of dead trees, also little ones. They hadn't made it. And I used to journey and talk to all the trees on the land. I'm the student, you're the teachers. I'm gonna be the scribe. I'll write it down. And the dead trees taught that, and this is long before any science had ever proven that trees are networked together. That had not come out into reality yet. But the dead trees said, okay, we may not be birthing leaves and we may not look like we're alive, and we are still all connected and we all communicate around this planet. So bless us as much as you do anything living. And it was just like, oh, that's cool. And could you pull a card on my birth angel? I saw an Aboriginal elder in my mind's eye a year or so ago. Not sure if he's a relative or my guide. Okay, I'm going to... Hang on. I have a deck of Aborigine cards. Let me go find it. I think I saw it earlier. And that's not it. You can turn some lights on in here. Ah, let there be light. There you are. Okay. As Gail and I have talked about on our Oracle Wisdom, we both have this mild addiction to decks of cards. Okay, this one is the saltwater cards. And this is Aborigine art. This is one of the ones that, oh God, what is her name? Marianne down in Australia recommended and used. So I'm going to go in with this one and see whether Debbie's elder... Before I pull the card, what I'm actually hearing is he's both. He is a relative and a guide. Ooh, Lauren Bowen Dreamtime cards. How did I miss that deck? Okay, hang on. We're pulling a card for Debbie, and then I'm going to go down the list. Blue Groper. What a weird card. What did I do with my book? Okay, you're in here. I have no idea what these cards means because I think I've only used the deck once. Okay, that's what I got, and I'm going to have to read it. Come back here. I'm going to have to read that to find out what it means because I don't know. It says gender roles. I wonder if you were a different gender in that lifetime. Okay, large fish. They live in shallow coastal waters and reefs. Oh, that's interesting. They start their life as brown-colored juveniles, and they are all female. And the blue color is reserved for the males. So that's a male. The number of males is limited to how many are needed in order to keep the population reproducing. As humans, we are born into a society with very strong ideas about the roles we will play in life depending on which sex we are, which gender, which is limiting. It limits us. So the message is this. So, and I'm going to put this for your guide. Embody both masculine and feminine traits. What I'm hearing is do some journey work and find out what past life information you can about this man, and maybe you were male, he was female, but there's something about the gender definitions you have issues with women. Okay, there you go. It is not as crazy as it seemed. Is that what you're telling me? Like, that was weird. Okay, let's see. I need to look up Lauren Bowen Dreamtime. Tanya is looking to get inspired. Okay, let's see what can help inspire you. I can't even shuffle these on the table because there's no room, so we're going to go in my lap. Okay, get inspired. Inspiration. Woo, that came flying out of the deck. I love when they offer themselves up. Okay. Oh, inspiration. Inspire is an air energy. It's breathing in and out. That's funny. It's this one. Let me see what else it says. The air spirit, the air element is in the north. It's in the wisdom department. So, Tanya, are you breathing? Are you just putting your hand on your heart and breathing in and out to ground yourself and then intend inspiration from there? Spirit of air. Start with the breath. And basically what Spirit of Air is teaching you is clarity and expanding your perception on life. So you may want to expand your definition of inspiration. Clear out the mental clutter. Breathe. Breathe, girl, breathe. It's suggesting being mindful, like paying attention. I know for me, when I'm not motivated to do something, there's usually a storyline going on about how stressed I am about something, and that needs to be shut off first, which means I need to breathe in the heart so we can shut that down. And then the questions I ask in those times are, what is my next best step to move forward in service, in inspiration? I mean, the name of my website, and has been for years, is Sacred Inspiration, because it's one step at a time, just inspiring myself and others. So breathe. Have anyone ever seen rabbits sit side by side with each other and eat in sync? I have never seen that. That is really cool. Barbara, you're here. How you feeling, girl? Okay, let's see. No offense. You're not offending anybody. 3 means growth and expansion, and the path is unfolding in perfect timing. Yes. Yes. God, thank you guys for sharing that with him. I appreciate that. Okay. Oh, come on, mouse. I bought a new one because this one isn't working anymore. But you know something? Nothing has been delivered for a week because of the ice storm. It's pretty funny. Ah, Mariposa! We already pulled your card, sweetheart. We got butterflies earlier. It's so good to see you. It is so good to see you. Anybody else have a question? Okay, how do I get these little thingies off of here? I don't know. I guess I have to put a different one on here. Here. put that one on there. And that one. Okay, you need what? What do you need? You want a card? Should we do an animal card for you? See if we can get the butterfly again. Okay, Goddess Mariposa was on Alchemical Wisdom a long time ago. And I need to bring you back on. Okie dokie. What animal wants to say hi to the sacred Mariposa? We're going a little bit beyond butterflies today. Dragon medicine. Supernatural. You are the ancient wise sage. Okay, I'm way older than you, so you're not ancient, but past life thing. You can shapeshift at will. Mastery is your destiny. Rise with dignity. What is the animal sign for April 14th? I have absolutely no... There's an animal sign? I don't know. Okay, you got that, my friend? That's you, dragon. Beautiful dragon energy. Yeah, I love the dragons too. I have one named Fred. He's pretty funny. Back a very long time ago, a whole group of women wanted to have a class on dragons, and I'm like, okay. Drove back out to the ranch I lived on, and I'm like, okay, do I have a dragon? Fred. Yeah, of course you have a dragon. And and I'm like, well, what's your name? Thinking I'd get something very grand. Fred, sweetheart. You've known me as Fred your entire life. And I'm like, Fred the dragon. So yes, we have dragons. Good. Is that what you needed? Excellent. What cards are those? These are Jodi Bergsma, who does this beautiful art, Spirit of the Animals Oracle. It's a really pretty deck. April 14th is not a good day in history. Titanic Black Sunday. Okay, I have a fire dragon and a unicorn. It's easier to... Yeah, isn't it ever? I've got a black Pegasus that Archangel Michael gave me. Okay, I don't know. Breathing, yes, breathing. Breathing's a good thing. And that's something, I have seen in everything I do in the healing work that I've done for 35 years, is the first step is to remember to breathe. Any of us that have had any trauma at all in our lives, current or past life, the first thing we usually do is stop breathing when we get stressed out. So deep breath brings us back in our bodies, which gives us a point of power and groundedness so that we can think clearly. So breathe. Mystic Janet. We're taking questions. I'm playing with cards. So Shockwave, do you want us to pull an animal for April 14th? Is that what you're asking for? I don't know if there is one aligned with April 14th, but we can pull a card and find out. Why don't we do that? Let's do that. An aminal for April 14th. See if there's a message. Okay, we can do that. I'm going to laugh if we get rabbits because you were already talking about them. That one? Okay. Oh, you got a good animal. Okay, this is a reframe here. If April 14th is supposed to be a harder day than usual, reboot it with love. See, this is the thing we forget, is that these patterns that, okay, this means something bad or that means something bad, we have an effect on the frequency of the world. So if April 4, if we all have days that I have a definite anniversary day that all kinds of bad things have happened in my personal life. And what I tend to do is reframe the day in ceremony with a different energy. So, Shockwave, you are being asked to reframe with being gentle, focusing on health and healing with the power of love, and look at the light side of things. Tanya, thank you for being here. I enjoyed having you here. April is considered the diamond month, so facets of multicolored, beautiful diamond light. Um, I have lived with herds of deer as teachers before. They're really good with love. They are very supportive of each other and don't mess with their boundaries. They will kick you. I've seen them do it to each other. So, good boundaries. Have good boundaries if you have an anniversary date that is not one that is good. Mystic Janet, do you have a question? How long have we been going? Oh my God, it's an hour almost. It's almost time to stop and play some music. Oh, you are having yucky chemo effects. Yes, you can get a card. We're not going to do animals. We're going to do this one. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. I wondered how you were doing, and I apologize for taking so long to answering your email. My house blew up the first week of January. The downstairs toilet decided it was going to blow, which has meant bringing everything upstairs. And the landlord I rent, I have a year left on the lease, and he's considering taking the house back so he can redo the whole thing and sell it, which I think is his best idea. But it's like, now what? I have to move. Okay, chemo. Jeez, there's a theme. Okay, that's the fourth time I have pulled the polar bear in 3 days. So, warrior of the heart. The polar bear is absolute strength, which I would say means you got it for this, and come from your heart rather than your head. And I know it's really hard when you're in suffering, but just ground in your heart, hand on your heart, and breathe a little bit through it. When I used to get migraine headaches every day, which I did for years, I actually learned to just sit with them and see if I could breathe and distance my storyline from how bad I felt. So, polar bear, wisdom of the north, being quieter and dreaming about what comes next on the other side of this, because there is another side. There is another side. Okay, I'm going to play music and sign us off after that. So let me change. Nope, the mouse is not going to work, so we'll do it this way. Change the music. Okay, I am going to actually work with the chakra chimes, which are off camera, but they're right next to me. And this is the European chakra frequencies rather than the American. So root, deep breath. Hand on heart. Polar bear comes to my island at times. Ew. Okay. Thank you all for indulging me in goofy stuff. I'm still not used to doing this alone. It's like, what am I supposed to talk about? This was fun. Thank you for interacting and asking questions and letting me pull cards and having some fun with you guys. That was fun. Kathy W. So, for those of you that follow Johnny and Jen Lynn and Becca, they're on tonight. More goofy laughter. And Jen Lynn and I are doing our Sacred Sounds of Coffee tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Time. Eliza will be asleep. It'll be recorded. And I am offering, thanks to Jennifer W., who's just got on here, I'm actually offering one question readings that is a combination of a couple of cards, the Hathors, and the part of me that receives messages, which is the Star Coyote. And I really appreciate you asking for that because that was a blast. I mean, it was just sort of like, look at what comes through when you ask. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you much. I appreciate you coming in here. And I will see you all tomorrow if you're coming in for coffee with Jen Lynn and I. And if not, you can get the recording. Thank you. Love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Do, 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 do.